Alright, this first one is called Art Exhibit.
Alright.
I saw a picture of you today. I had an art exhibit on memory lane. You wore those pearls we found on Champs-Élysées, framed like the golden masters, forgotten all these years, pouring like rain. A true thought appears of the genius of pain. Pouring like rain. Cause I'm on my back again. Words we had to describe the same feeling, now without a meaning. Cause I'm on my back again, looking at the hole in the ceiling. A true thought appears, oh, the genius of pain. Cause I'm on my back again. Words we had to describe the same feeling.
Who has a question for these guys? All right, here we go. So in the front.
Okay, so you guys have been doing this for a long time. You know, growing up, I'm sure you started playing. Who really inspired you? What kind of music were you listening to, or who were you taking cues from to grow to what you've become?
I mean, all of us is somewhat different. We all obviously grew up listening to music around the house, and for me, that was like a mixture of Bollywood music and a mixture of just the British invasion of what like Indian people were listening to, which was like pretty. It was, you know, like a lot of the Beatles, obviously, a lot of standards. And then when I came, you know, I was actually born in Michigan. I was born in Ann Arbor.
All right.
And so I grew up with a lot of Michael Jackson, and so then that's just started, you know, dancing around and stuff. And then as a band, I think we loved like just the Strokes was a big influence on us, and all those like early 2000 bands where, you know, we were just young and wanting to get out and play, and now it's kind of less about what we're listening to and more about, you know, how we can try and make it as uniquely ourselves as possible.
How do you guys create your music? Like, what's the process like for a song?
There's not like one process that we really keep going to. I think if anything, we try to keep it as varied as possible so we can not get bored or complacent. I mean, honestly, it could be anything from just sitting in a room together and jamming until an idea comes out of it, or recently started doing this thing where we'll like start an idea and then someone will send it over to the next person. We all have like little studio rigs in our houses and sort of do it piecemeal that way. Honestly, any way that we feel inspired, though, there's no like real method to it.
Whatever you're doing.
So, do you guys have any future collaborations with other artists coming up?
Not really. I think we almost consider what we do as a band a collaboration, because there are 5 members and we all have, you know, equal opinions, and we're all bringing songs to the table. And a writing process can be sometimes chaotic and crazy, because, you know, in the best possible ways when we're kind of like all in the same headspace, and that's a challenge. I know we're just really enjoying the insularity, if anything, more than ever, of just being able to write as us as a band. And, you know, if people like remixing our stuff, we've always been open to that. We've done 2 records where we essentially just give out the stems, meaning like all the tracks from every song, and allow anyone to remix the songs, because, you know, anyone can make it their own. But yeah, I think right now I'm just kind of excited in what we're doing.
So this one's for each of you. What is the most recent song you've put on your personal playlist? Everybody pull out their Spotify.
What's
This new Spotify thing is weird.
Today I was listening to Brian McBride. I think I put a playlist I made on, and that came up, and now they call me with bike riding. Brian McBride.
I just added this Brazilian composer. His name was Hermeto Pascoal. I found a video of a dude. He's just like making a bunch of sounds. It's called like Sounds of the Body. And I was like, this is awesome. And it turns out he's actually like kind of a legend too. So I added some of his live sessions.
I guess I was listening to the new Tom York solo album, so I put the whole thing. I just pressed download.
Last song I added to a playlist was called Luzon, I guess, Luzon, Luzon, and the artist is Augustine. My friend sent it to me and I liked it.
Our friend Samaras, who toured with us earlier this year.
I have a microphone now, so you can hear me. We had a band called Sure come out with us on tour, and they just put out the record. It's great. So the whole album, I guess, I just added it. It came out like 2 days ago, so yeah, you should check it out. It's a good summer album. It's an EP. It's an 8-song EP, so it's a long EP, it's a short album, whatever you want.
I'm sure this is a major faux pas to ask, but what does the song God Made Man, like, what did you guys guys mean?
You know, it's interesting because the meanings of songs are constantly in flux and constantly change. I mean, when we were making the first record, we barely even knew who our audience was. You know, we barely played any shows around the country. To us, just the concept was being okay with guilt and understanding the fragility and complexity and oftentimes the ways that we contradict ourselves as humans. And there's a reason for that, there has to be. But songs, I really truly believe now more than ever, they take a lot of belief and meaning from you guys, from the people who come to the shows and listen to the songs and put their own thing to it. And that's really where it comes from, because you know, we were like 19 and like living in a little apartment together when we were writing that song, and now it's something else.
Let's do a few more questions.
What's been like, is there a specific venue that stood out to you guys over the last 5, 10, 15 years that just, you guys think back on and go, man, that was just the place, whether acoustically or the people or Red Rocks?
Yeah, it is Red Rocks for me. It's a cool venue. Obviously, it's beautiful and it sounds really good. And people like make a trip out of it, and you know that's always nice. But there's also, it's very steep, so you can actually see the people in the very back. I think it's like 10,000 people. You can actually see the people in the back row if you're playing on stage, which is pretty great for such a big venue. It does feel very intimate, and every once in a while, I play with my head down a lot. And every once in a while, I keep looking up and like, you have to sort of like take a deep breath and like not get overwhelmed while you're playing. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love that venue.
We went to Europe once and we played in Florence in Michelangelo's courtyard. It was like this beautiful vista, but the funny thing was that only Samir was singing. It was an MTV performance, and for some reason in Italy, they'll just put the track on and then Samir will sing. So we were playing in this beautiful vista, but we're not really playing. So we just I was just sticking around for like 3 minutes on stage, just like, and it was a beautiful view. So that one always makes me laugh.
It's funny because we also, right after that, we did a TV performance, and they wanted the same thing. And you can see this online. Fran and Jake switch places. So there's like a TV performance of them playing each other's instruments. It's not the first time it's been done.
Our label was not pleased.
I'm in the middle over here. Yeah. But what was the feeling? So I know it's been like a while now, but what was the feeling you guys had, say, when your music was like first featured in like a big part of the media? Say like when I was watching Lee, I heard a performance by Darren Criss that he did Cough Syrup. Like, what was your feeling, say, when you first heard your music featured in something huge like that?
You know, to be honest, it's taken us a long time to look back on things and with awe and like humility. When we first started, we were really young, like 19, and we just thought things were happening because they were supposed to. And we kind of went through it, and we had a long, humbling experience of just growing together and wanting to change and do different things. And I think now looking back on those experiences, it's more than anything being like, wow, that's just so amazing that happened in the first place. And the timing, obviously a lot of this is talent and hard work, but luck and timing is a huge part of it. And you can't control anything like that. And so just to have had so many things like that happen to us in the first few years of us being a band is pretty amazing.
So on that note, what would you like to see for the next 3 or 5 years?
The next 3 or 5 years? Retirement. Hell no. No retirement. I'm never retiring. I don't know. It's just, we've grown. I think with every record now, it's more about just trying to do what we want to do. And if other things align with that externally, then that's great. We were really happy with Superposition going to #1 on alt radio as our first ever #1 single we've ever had. And we're like, hey, we didn't really feel much different after that. So I mean, nothing's different for us internally. I think more than anything, we just want to be able to continue to write music that we love to make and enjoy touring together and creating. So.
All right, how about another song?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, let's hear one more round of applause.